So I had to actually go across 3 or 4 different laptops, really old laptops, and I dug out my original. That's running Windows XP, by the way, 32-bit. I thought I had saved the program somewhere else, but I wrote it in 2020. Oh my goodness. And there's probably some old videos that showing this thing working. So this is the top loop-ish. This is not the top loop, but this is what I threw together to represent the top loop, because that's the vehicle that goes, the monorail vehicle that goes on the top loop. And there's one RCX, 2 outputs, one for the top loop. It traces over to here. One over here that just traces to that light, so it's on, so make a nice little stream. And one sensor input, so the light sensor there goes to the sensor input, and there's a touch switch on top. And I had to read my program, and it's been a while since I get into programming. I have to like dig out some archaic parts of my memory to figure out how I coded these, because my friend Rick, who is a professional programmer his entire life, used to be with me with my robot competitions back in the RTL Toronto robot competitions day. He showed me about semaphores and coding and multi-threading and blah blah blah. So it's a clean program, and it's not that complicated. Basically, the track is powered by this guy from the output there, and that thing goes around and it breaks the stream. It beeps to let you know that broke the stream, and it'll stop for X amount of time, and then it goes again. So that's the easy part. The tough part was the actual emergency stop button, which you press and it makes a big noise, and then it's dead. It will not move. It will not move. Because the idea is I wanted to put buttons around the layout that the public can press and something happens. And in this case, it stops the monorail. Completely. Until 5 seconds passes, and then you press the button again, and the monorail goes again until it crosses the stream, and then it stops. But I also didn't want people mashing the button, so you actually have to, the thing has to be in motion for the emergency stop, because when it stopped anyway, because it broke the stream, there's no point in stopping it again. So you stop it again, press the button, and you count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you press the button again. Press the button again. Okay, maybe I didn't count too fast. Oh, maybe I'm mashing the button. This is my problem. Wait 500, yeah, so this should have been done by now. But let's try it again. No, now I'm looking like an idiot. That's not good. There it goes. Maybe it's 15 seconds. I don't know. Whatever. And then it'll start again and go through the same program. This is just to add some sort of complexity, user input complexity to the layout. On this loop, it's not that interesting because the thing just goes around in a circle anyway. And you can see the pickups still aren't perfect, which drive me crazy. Because, I mean, the copper should be touching the tape at all times, and yet it's not. And this is the absolute frustrating part about the copperized rails. You can hear it stutter. Now at a show with all the noise, you won't hear that stuttering, and people don't notice it at a show. And I do believe, like, I have the braided wire pickups on the shuttle mover, and those things work perfectly well. I think it's a whole bunch of things with this guy that it's top heavy, it rattles around. It definitely does not have a low center of gravity. That all aids to it kind of skipping. But I just wish I could find something that would make this thing stay continuously in contact with the copper rails, because that right there just drives me crazy. But this is where I am. And so this quote unquote is done. I am probably going to bring the RCX with a program on it to the show, and at least have this guy running from the RCX instead of from the train controllers. That's probably what's going to happen. But again, I'm going to bring my entire box that has all these train controllers built in, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to set. Well, the light sensors and the light is already built into the layout because that's what I did. So I don't have to bring any of that stuff. It's already built in. I just have to make sure it gets connected up during setup. So, I mean, technically this can happen at the show. I just bring the RCX. Because the light sensor is built into the support of the monorail track, and the light is built into the gantry that launches the rocket. So I did all that already. I just have to run the wires back to the RCX, which means I'm bringing a lot of wires, but we'll see what happens. My next one is I'm going to have to copperize, as I said in my last video, I'm going to have to copperize a lot of track to do the main big loop at the bottom, layer 1. Layer 0 is the train track, and layer 1 is the one that's just above that with the big, huge, the longest loop I have in the layout. In relative sense, it's pretty small, but that's going to take a little bit of copperizing, and I'm looking forward to that because I might bring that guy. Oh, gee, I'm already tired. You know, I like this thing. I'm just going to wait till it starts moving again and press the emergency stop button. Or, see? This is my problem. It's so frustrating. I mean, in the end, look, I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be touching. I even put a little bit of a curve to it, so it's like, quote unquote, below the tires. So it's sitting right on top of the copper, and I don't know why it's not working. I think it's because it jolts a little like that, and if it jolts a little like that, then it's not touching. And I tried using the braided wire, but that didn't seem to work at all, and it didn't allow a thin enough clearance between the bottom of the monorail and the track. Basically, the tires were not touching anymore. These things were, if this was braided, it was actually the wheels were not able to touch the monorail track. So it is something. It is something that I have to come up with a solution for. And this is my major impediment of the copperized track, is those pickups. And as I say, the copper track in the right at the seams here, it's a pain. But see, you press the button, nothing happens when it's stopped, because it's already stopped. So you don't need an emergency stop button, but that's what that button is for. And that's all coded, code from 2020, 3 years ago. I'm gonna have to stop again. There we go. I'm gonna redo my code, make it a little cleaner. It's a little messy, and I'm gonna verify that the loop 2, which is the shuttle loop, will also work. And that thing has 2 or 3 stops. This one only has the 1 stop because it's a small circle. The shuttle loop stops at the rocket platform, the habitat, and behind the big tower. So it has 3 stops. And again, I won't remember how long ago, probably 2020, when I made the program, and you can dig that up. You can see the monorail, the monorail, the monorail train carrying the shuttles. It'll stop. It worked exceedingly well beyond my expectations. This one, anywho, that's where I am right now. One more step for the show in a couple weeks. It's coming up pretty fast. I do have a few more things I want to get done before the show that's never been at a show, because I want to make something new for people, because a lot of people have seen the classic space layout numerous times by now, and I think it's getting a little long in the tooth for a lot of people, so I want to bring some surprises. So that's it, that's all. I hope everybody's doing well. I will talk to you guys soon.